Touring Reviewer here, and I'm doing Legend of Korra character review, Amon. Now, be aware, when I first started watching The Legend of Korra, I had no idea what I was expecting, but the time leap with electronics and no Aang were very strange for me to comprehend. Now, add that Korra was such a headstrong character who always dived into conflict without thinking about her actions, which was my first impression I got of her. Now, to say that I wasn't on board with The Legend of Korra would be true. But what truly got me into Legend of Korra series was, come on, let's face it, the villain. I just love a good villain, and Amon was no exception. He was given gifts of taking away a bender's power with just his thumb, and that seemed terrifying. I never truly felt a connection to bending until I saw examples of what Amon could truly do. And felt when I saw especially Lin's bending being taken away, I felt the loss Lin felt. Bending I always connected to something magical, if I may say, and would assume it wasn't possible in a wide scale, making it completely fictional. Yet watching Lin's bending being taken away, I connected with someone taking my eyesight away, a limb, my skills in certain activities, and overall, what makes me special, or who I am. This is what I feel made Amon so terrifying. He could take what made a person so special like that, just take it away. Add that with his incredibly understandable backstory he resents to his followers of being scarred and his family being killed, and you have a well written character and villain. Amon's ideas, though, weren't too far fetched. I personally was more on his side of the equalist movement because what he preaches is partly true. Benders are given special privileges that non-benders can't compete with at times. Take, for example, Dai Li, Chin the Conqueror, and of course the Fire Lord are prime examples of benders using their capabilities to torment others. Not to say non-benders don't pose a threat, such as Jet, Mai, Suki, Sokka, and Ty Lee. Ty Lee was especially deadly because she could take bending away for a certain amount of time. But if you notice throughout the last series, she mainly just disarmed a person. Equivalent to taking away a sword from somebody, which is understandable, you don't want to get cut. Her chi blocking acted more of a defense than an offense. This tied in with Amon teaching non-benders moves that can act as a self-defense, which I was totally for. But it was considered illegal to run these centers to train non-benders in this show, or at least from Amon's crew. But it just never really settled right with me that non-benders weren't allowed to do this in the show as much. Now, I was actually for the non-benders in this series, and Amon was purging bending gangs from tormenting non-benders, which while extreme, it seemed right. Of course, Korra faces her challenge with this villain and ultimately has her bending taken away by him. When I found out Amon was actually a bloodbender, I was not surprised in a sense most people were. I was surprised because I had no idea bloodbending could be so powerful that I could take bending away from somebody, proving how powerful of a waterbender Amon was. Man, but Amon, he lied to a lot of people, and he was defeated in an unlikely manner. Not through the Avatar killing him, or taking his bending away, but by his revolution failing because he lied to people. Which I feel isn't too common, at least. But I feel he got axed off far too quickly. I could have really seen Naoto Sashimon developing a connection with Korra, and eventually teaching her how to bloodbend. It could be like alluding to how Hama taught Katara how to bloodbend. Now, I will admit to all of you, I ship Amon and Korra. I know. It's just I just got this huge Phantom of the Opera vibe from him with the mask, the dark voice, his menacing aura, and Korra, the careless young woman who is entrapped in his web, but eventually can see the man behind the mask. A lot of issues now in the Legend of Korra, season 3, season 4 especially, I feel could have gone a lot better if Korra knew bloodbending to the extent Amon, or even somewhat to the extent Amon knew, or had Amon acting like a bodyguard to Korra. I feel like he could have been changed in his ways and eventually could have become a great ally. He could have taught her patience and overall how to get her bending to his level. Plus, the age difference doesn't bother me too much. Some good examples are the fact Aang and Katara are 100 years apart, and Tenzin and Pema in season 1, Pema was 35, Tenzin was 51, reaching a 16-year age gap. But for some people, I realize that this will bother. And this couple is honestly my guilty pleasure. I get this whole Stiltskin and Belle kind of vibe, or Christine and Eric vibe with the young suitor Armako in the picture, or even a Frollo vibe, believing he is a warrior doing good, yet does horrid deeds to gain what he wants. I have gone down with my ship, I know, but I still acknowledge the fact that Amon was an amazing character and villain. Willing to do anything for what he believes in, protect his people, and come on, let's face it, he's very good looking. This is Victorian Reviewer. Thank you for listening. Please comment.